The month of May brought back something that I always enjoy. That is a good rap beef. We had this whole thing with Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And I remember I was getting ready to go on vacation at the time. And on my way was when Euphoria dropped. Then it was like Family Matters. Now I don't know the order of the songs or whatever, right? But I remember Not Like Us came out, and that was like the hit. Turned out to be what many people call the hit of the summer. Then after that, you heard it everywhere. You heard it in every song. You heard it on television. You heard it in arenas. Bands are playing it. To the point, they even did the little, Kendrick did the pop-up, and they played it then, and it was amazing. Brought in, everybody from LA. Then, of course, the music video came out. Not Like Us. It was like, okay, this clearly is the anthem for 2024. You heard when Vice President Kamala Harris was on her presidential campaign, she was saying it. You heard different people because it was easy to say, they not like us. Well, some news came out this week. Everybody's old favorite rapper, Drake, is suing distributors for bots. Yes, folks. He's accusing them of using bots to further promote the music. Also throwing out a defamation case. Now, in my days of communications law, and when I say days of communications law, I really just mean when I was in school. Defamation is always something that's hard to prove. What you have to do, you have to prove that somebody says something about you and their words cause you to lose money, cause you to lose a part of your living, right? But it has to be false information. So if somebody said Brian H. Waters robbed a bank, and then all of a sudden I got fired, every time I went to go do a podcast, all my invites got turned away. I could sue for defamation and win because they caused me to lose money over something that wasn't true. So for people out there who are wondering, when athletes lose endorsements because of things that happen, that's not defamation. They can't sue for defamation because, quite frankly, they did participate in an act or they did do something and it caused people to pull back their money. Therefore, that's why Diddy really can't sue for defamation. But Drake is suing for defamation. And I've been reading a lot of stuff. I should say commentary from the people. One of the things is that, that pedophile line was very wild. And to me, obviously I don't know what Drake's bank account looked like, but I know I still saw him around, still making music, and to accuse the companies of bots, dude, it was a hot song. I'm sorry. The beat, the lyrics, and it was one of those things that you go back and listen to ensure, wait, what did I miss? That's why I say I like Euphoria better. Me and my cousin Chain Wayne talked about this during the summer when, he came back on here. So one, I think is weak. You lost the battle. Now you suing? You talent. What happened to the game? Shout out to Kaz. Kaz said, the game is truly cooked. You look at some of the craziest diss tracks back in the day. Hail Mary. Who Shot Ya? Ether. No Vaseline. That's just some of them. But you ain't see people suing. Now, when I was in high school, that was around the time of Ja Rule and 50. I thought it was going to get physical. I never thought Ja Rule, we never even thought about that. We never even thought like, oh yeah, he going to sue him because he said this, that, and the other. So I was never a Drake fan or, I was always indifferent. Okay, he put out good music. I listen to it. Cool. I like it. If I do, I do. I don't. 2010 Drake, that was the one I liked. Or maybe that was 2009. That was some fun music. But man, this just makes me look at him different. Like, like this thing got in his head. Even with DeMar DeRozan, right? Now, DeMar DeRozan is from Compton, and he is a Toronto Raptors legend. If you look at the history of the Raptors, right? If you look at the Mount Rushmore of the Raptors, it's Vince Carter, Kawhi Leonard, DeMar DeRozan, and Kyle Lowry. In my opinion, I mean, you could put Chris Bosh up there. You could make an argument. The only reason why you're putting Kawhi there is because he did bring them their only championship. But Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, that was a duo, man. That was a duo. They just couldn't get past LeBron James. They were stocking him alone. And Drake got up there. You could see he was in his field and said if they put his jersey in the Raptors, he'll go up there and remove it himself. Like, come on now. That's clown behavior. Coming up on this week's episode of Breaking Through Glass Ceilings, got a couple things we're going to talk about. Lamar Jackson. People tend to hate on him. Talk about Trey Songz owing a cop $11 million. Woo! And Adam Schefter just oversharing. Coming up after this message. I just want to remind you that you can save 10% on your order with Symphony of Balloons, a luxury balloon company that also offers a 360 camera. Just simply mention you heard about them on Breaking Through Glass Ceilings. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of Breaking Through Glass Ceilings. It's Thanksgiving weekend. Every day is a day of Thanksgiving. That's what we always say. I always say, I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful. Shout out to my mother. She just celebrated her 65th birthday. Incredible time at the party. And, it was amazing. But let's get into some things this week. Man, first of all, let's start off with Trey Songz. Trey Songz has been ordered to pay a cop $11 million. Now, I was first saw this on Chain Wayne blogs. Then I saw it was reported by TMZ. And basically what happened, he had a night out with some friends and had some ladies in a hotel. Well, one of the ladies was the cop's wife, and apparently she was being forced to stay against her will. So the cop went in there with some friends and they got beat up. And after they got beat up, Trey Songz and company, I guess he sued him. He didn't respond to the courts. So the courts, okay, you don't want to respond? Boom, $11 million. Yes. Crazy, right? Trey Songz owes $11 million to the cop. Now, first of all, why are we fighting? It sucks. I'm not going to make judgments on why the woman was there. But what I'm going to make a judgment on, if she wanted to leave, let her leave. Like, why are we holding people against their will? That's not cool. That's not cool at all. So, I don't understand why there's such a hefty price, like $11 million for beating up the cop. Now, let's just say with fees and everything, the cop walks away with $7 million. Well, clearly they don't have to work no more, but I don't understand why this warrants that much. Can somebody help me? Because, I was watching Chain Wayne blogs. He was trying to figure it out. And he said maybe to send a lesson, and that based on watching Power and stuff, you kill a cop, there's different consequences. So I'm assuming the same thing for beating one down. But nonetheless, Trey Songz, get it together. Trey Songz, it was no reason. He could have any woman, not any woman that he wanted. He can have a choice, and there are women who will choose to have spent time with him. There's no need to hold nobody against their will. That's the biggest issue here. It's not the $11 million. It's holding a woman against their will, regardless of what. Once she say no, that's it. That's it. Between the cop and his wife, that's their business. But you holding her against her will, nah, man. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. I want to talk Shannon Sharpe, man. Shannon Sharpe has been doing his thing all year. I mentioned last week that he hinted at the possibility that Cat Williams would be making a return to his show. Don't know if that's true or not. Cat Williams said he held back. But I did see something this week. It was talking about things got a little personal between him and Stephen A. Smith. I did see one thing about this, right? This is why I don't like engaging in debate. Skip Bayless says it best. It's a thing called supreme debate, where him and Stephen A. Smith will go at it, real heated discussions. They take the break, they go the separate way, they come back, boom, next up. I know when it comes to sports, especially wrestling shows, right? I don't like debating. I like having conversations. I like talking about the stories of the storyline, or, you know, I don't like to say, because, you know, debating it's exchanging information, but a lot of times nobody's going to side. They're going to try to keep their side, and they just listen to react, not listen to gain information. And there was a situation where they was talking about the Dallas Cowboys, go figure, and Stephen A. Smith was reminded that it was him, Teddy Bruschi, and Shannon Sharpe. He was reminded, you didn't play the game. You don't know it from this point of view. And I think a lot of times that happens, that when people had that one-upsmanship, they pull that card in a debate. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit up and lie to you, act like I'm so innocent. I've pulled that card in a professional setting. Maybe it's a debate or an argument. I'm trying to explain to somebody reason why television is done a certain way. And I probably pulled the card like, well, I've been in a TV studio. I've been in a TV control room. But I think on a live television show, it's just wild. Now, I don't think Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith hate each other. I see people trying to create this narrative. I think they both get it. It's business. But there's, like I said, supreme debate. Everybody isn't made for it. But I did see Shannon Sharpe do that same move almost, where he like, all right. And his eyes went a certain way. And it was very Skip Bayless-esque. So who knows? Maybe Shannon Sharpe ain't up for the debate. Maybe he's more about the conversation of things. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support this podcast by wearing a t-shirt, whether it's the one that says breaking through glass ceilings or the one that says no ceilings above success, simply go to foryourwear.com. Also, you can support some of your other favorite podcast and content creators, including Those Wrestling Girls, Seahawk, and the Wrestling Club. And you can support some of your favorite independent wrestlers, including Jay Bougie, Trisha Dora, Chaz the Don. Shoot, all the Pure Ignorance is on there. So go on foryourwear.com, go under the personalities, you'll find Brian H. Waters, and buy a t-shirt. And remember, I'll give you a shout out on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, are you in the gym every week? Are you looking to kind of keep yourself cool while you work up a nasty sweat? Well, I got the best thing for you. Cooling bands, bandanas, cooling towels, and so much more. Go to Vertical Athletics, get your favorite team in MLS or MLB, or guess what? Now they have a custom option so you can upload your own logo, and you can save 10% at checkout when you enter the code Brian H. Waters. Go to verticalathletics.com, use the code Brian H. Waters to save 10% on some of your best cooling gear. Moving on, I want to stick with sports. I want to talk about baseball, man. Blake Snell just received a huge contract. Let me get these numbers. But he received a huge contract with the with the Los Angeles Dodgers. He was somebody that I was hoping the Orioles had picked up. They didn't. But, the 32-year-old signed a $182 million contract for 5 years. Going to the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, here's the thing about that. The contract is backloaded. Now, the Dodgers were already a stacked team. They've been winning 100 games each and every year consistently. Almost, I believe they may have a streak in the West dating back to the mid-2010s. I know that, they felt like a staple for the National League Championship Series. But now it's like, here we go again. So that brings up the conversation about whether there should be a salary cap in baseball. Now, I saw one argument that says there's a lot of people out there who defer money. The Orioles being one of them. They paid Chris Davis. They deferred the money. Ken Griffey Jr., he's still getting paid by the Cincinnati Reds. We all know the story of Bobby Bonilla, which I think comes to an end next year. But what sucks is about this whole thing is, like, by there not being a salary cap, it does shift the balance, right? Now, everybody can talk about the championships because that's the ultimate goal. But when you have all the stars on one team, one, the balance is shifted because there's just the lack of competition. Or, yes, somebody else can rise to the occasion. But think about the drawing power also. Think about if you have the stars spread out throughout the league. That's what I grew up on, my baseball. There was nothing like seeing so many different jerseys in the All-Star game. You had Tony Gwynn in San Diego. You had Barry Bonds in San Francisco. You had in Chicago, you had Frank Thomas in the South Side, and on the North Side, you had Sammy Sosa, Ken Griffey Jr. in Seattle, Tim Salmon in California Angels, Cal Ripken Jr. in Baltimore, Albert Bell in Cleveland. These are just me naming off names. And these were stars that not only did you see them as stars on the diamond, but you saw them on billboards. Talk about pitchers. Yeah, the Braves had a stacked squad with Maddox, Smoltz, and Glavine, but you also had Randy Johnson in Seattle. You had Mike Messina in Baltimore, David Wells in New York. I'd say that because, Roger Clemens in Toronto, so it sucks that that's how the game is going. And another big argument was that we haven't had a repeat world champion in, years. I think the last one was the Yankees in 99, 2000. Because now you have had the believe in even Giants 10, 12, and 14. You have the Astros who won it like 2 out of 5 years, but you haven't had that repeat champion. You haven't had that dynasty. But this year it seems like it's going to be threatened, because the Dodgers are loading up and they still want to go after Soto. They still want to go after Corbin Burns, and I get it. I saw Dallas Braden, former MLB pitcher, threw a perfect game on Mother's Day. Used to be a color analyst at ESPN. Said you're not going to tell him he wouldn't want to be on a stacked team. So I don't know. I don't like it. I do wish there was a salary cap in baseball. First, I was like, oh, no, it's good that it's not. No, put a salary cap. Let's balance this thing out. The sport needs something else. It's not a sport that could take a year off. Young people watching this, you would find it hard to believe that in the 90s, baseball was the number one sport over basketball, over football. Now it's football by a mile, but baseball was king. It's not that way anymore. Sticking with sports, Adam Schefter, man, bro, you're sharing too much. We don't care. Adam Schefter said that, and the quote went out, he broke NFL news after having sex. And it's like, dude, come on now. Like, do we really need to know that? Like, we don't care about what you do in your personal life. You know what I mean? Sure, good. Happy for you. You're having sex. If you're married, congratulations. Keep that sacred between you and your wife. You don't have to brag about that. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Adam Schefter overshared. Real quick, I saw this one thing online. I should maybe name this a segment of things I agree with. But it was talking about the AirPods, right? And it said whether or not the AirPods, they put AirPods over wireless headphones over, wired Apple headphones greater than AirPods. I have to agree. If it wasn't for the sake that the AirPods give us so much freedom, The wired air headphones always work better. They sound better. Except when, if somebody's using it as a microphone, they doing this, that's when it's annoying. But yeah, if you're podcasting, just some podcast tips. If you don't have a microphone and you're asked to be a guest on somebody's show and you have those wired headphones, use them. Do not use AirPods. Because sometimes they sound muffled and you won't know until the show is done. I'm going to close out. I'm going to talk about my quarterback. You all know who that is. Lamar Jackson. Everybody wants to criticize Lamar Jackson. Oh, this season, would it be a failure if he doesn't win the Super Bowl? Now, while I am hoping and praying that this is the year, as I've been doing every year since 2019, I am hoping and praying that Lamar Jackson can do what he has been trying to do as win a Super Bowl. He told us Baltimore's going to get a Super Bowl out of me, and I promise you that whether it's in the castle in Owens Mills, whether the production assistant is in Bristol at ESPN or Los Angeles at Fox Sports, they have that clip waiting on some server for Lamar Jackson to bring the Ravens a Super Bowl so they can insert it in the beginning of the montage. Trust me when I tell you. I really, like I said, people been hating on this, man. And somebody brought this up and I thought it was very interesting and so true. Joe Flacco, Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford, and Patrick Mahomes are the guys right now in the league, the only 4 quarterbacks in the league right now to have a Super Bowl. And 2 of them don't play for the teams that they won the Super Bowl with. So when you look at that and you see all this hatred towards Lamar Jackson, it's like, okay, well, what about Joe Burrow? What about Josh Allen? What about Jalen Hurts? Everybody got something to say. Everybody got something to say about Lamar Jackson. And that man just keep winning. You saw Monday night. Yeah, he almost threw a pick. But right now he has 30 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Incredible. As a Ravens fan, it is the coolest thing to say. People must be aware of our offense. Never thought I would say that. But when we got Lamar Jackson, the people respected the Joe Flacco, but they didn't fear the Joe Flacco offense, right? You prepare for him, but you'd be like, oh, man, that Joe Flacco, man. And that played to the advantage in the Super Bowl because that Super Bowl run, 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, was incredible. Now, we want Lamar Jackson to do the same thing. Only time will tell. Ravens got a big matchup this week against the Philadelphia Eagles. Hopefully they get the job done. But ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this week's episode of Breaking Through Glass Ceilings. I'm on vacation next week, so there will not be an episode. I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for the support of this show. Let you know I'm thankful for all of you. I want to thank you for whether you share a social clip, whether you watch a whole video, whether you watch a piece, whether you watch a YouTube short. Thank you so much. Have a happy holiday. Have a safe holiday. And remember, do not let anyone place a ceiling above your success. So long, everybody. Are you a podcaster who is looking to share clips from your show in the simplest way possible? Well, I have the best solution, and that's Opus Clip. Opus Clip allows you to take the link to your show, upload it, and then they will clip off some of the best moments. And it allows you to edit it, change the captions, change the colors, and they also give you a viral score so you know which clip can potentially generate more buzz for your show. So, if you're looking to do that, click the link in the bio, sign up for Opus Clip, and go viral with some of the best content from your show.